I have to assume that this was a unique project for you because you and Michael were friends and colleagues. And I want to know, was this was this a particularly special project for you to be a part of? And did that and did your relationship with Michael lead to you agreeing to do the
Oh,
official and never like was there ever any question?
oh no. Michael's sister Leisha asked me if I would
Oh,
do it,
okay. Well, there you go.
and um, I said, of course. I mean, um, yeah, no, I don't even voice books. I mean, I
Yeah.
voice my own book, but it's not. I've never, um, I've never even contemplated like doing that as a job. It was completely um, because it was Michael's book,
Was it?
and
Oh,
you know, and it was because Leisha asked. I mean,
yeah. How could
uh,
you say no?
yeah. I mean, I would have no interest in saying no, but I mean, yeah, that was it.
Well, you did a really good job. I wonder if it was ever difficult to keep a straight face, like when doing like Jordan Peterson impressions or whatever. I mean, I know you do that stuff, but for me, I had to hit pause because I was laughing. Did you have to
I
do multiple takes or?
No,
Oh,
actually, no. Like,
okay.
um, my ability to read and talk, it's basically
Total pro.
that's basically that that's basically in my wheelhouse and to and the outer limits of my wheelhouse, let's say. So it's both those things. But I I appreciate you saying that. Like, I felt bad because I was like, Michael could do this so much better.
Oh, well,
And I mean, it's true. And
yeah.
he was incredibly gifted at, I mean, not just doing voices, im- impressions, but there are people who do impressions that are like they want to sound like somebody,
Yeah.
and there are people who do impressions that like they get the voice, they get the mannerisms, but they also um, fundamentally make an assessment as to what the essence is
Yeah.
and present that.
That's kind of
And
how I draw people in that same
yeah,
way. Like it doesn't look exactly like them, but it's them. It's the perfect representation.
and in politics, it's really hard to do and make it funny.
Hmm.
It's just, and I've worked with, you know, at least from like a generational, I've worked and personally known, I think probably, certainly arguably, some of the best comedians in the country. And uh, I've worked with a lot of like really great comedians that nobody's ever heard of, really.
Hmm.
Um, and he had a very unique talent for that.
I like that you think he could have, or that you say he could have done it so much better than you, because now we can imagine him making fun of you for not doing it as well as he could have, which is there's so
Honestly,
many layers to.
oh my God. Like,
That's why you're perfect for doing it.
I was like, oh, this is the most hilarious part about it to me. It's just like how annoyed Michael would be if he knew that I had read his book, I had narrated his book. He would be so fucking
You think he would?
annoyed.
He wouldn't
But not
be
so much that like he would want necessarily someone else to do it. I just like
right.
it you know, Michael and I were not like, um, you know, on the show. I'm not that social of a person, and so like Michael and I would go out occasionally, but not as much as I think people would imagine over the course of 8 years. Um, and I think our relationship was more like brothers than it
Mm,
was. I don't have a brother, but I imagine. than it was as like, you know, close friends. I mean, he had, you know, and there was like, and I think I was sort of like, I think we had some type of like brotherly rivalry, and I think he probably had it a little bit more with me, frankly, than I had with him because I was just older and I didn't like, you know. Um, and there were times early on, like I was brutal with him. You know, I mean, on the show, I mean, people would go back and listen, and I would give him a lot of shit, and he would like. I think Bender remembers like it was a guest list. Like I had asked him, he was a producer when he first came on the show. I'm like, we need a list of our guests because we don't have one on the website. And I want you to write the guest list. And like a week would go by and I'm like, how's it going? Yeah, I haven't gotten to it. 2 weeks, month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. And I just start giving shit about it on the show. Like, how the hell are you not doing this guest list? And he was, and he would also probably admit that he was also like a shitty producer. Like he never did any, I don't know if he did this consciously or not, but like, you know, that saying like never get good at a job that you don't want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That was Michael.
Okay.
That was Michael. And there were times where like, I just like, no, like I would fire him right now if it wasn't for the fact that he was so funny. Like,
oh, really?
I was like, I'll fire you right now. You're the worst producer I've ever seen. But he was too funny. And he was also super smart. Yeah. And that was like, you know, we would have a lot of conversations off camera that would inform things that we would say on camera. By having someone like that in, you know, sitting 5 feet away, particularly in that old office that we had, your opinions get sharper. And your assessments get sharper, and the way that you read gets sharper. And so, but I think it would annoy him just because he thought that like maybe I was enjoying it, or that he would definitely like, you know, like there's a lot of things, and you know, down the road that maybe I'll talk about that I know that he's either laughing or bitching about if he has any awareness of what's going on down here.
That's great.
And so it definitely occurred to me like, it's like, I can't fucking believe that Sam is going to get laughs off of shit that I wrote.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It would annoy the shit. But at the same time, I think he also was like, would be happy, you know, that that the book was able to get out there in another way. So he'd be torn. He'd be torn about it.
Well, take it from me. It's a big deal to the fans of the show and the fans of you and the fans of him and the work that you did together. We all, I mean, everyone was electric when it became available. And that's why I continue to push the book, and especially the audio version, and make sure that everyone checks it out.
And I would encourage people to go and check out the TMBS archives. You know, Michael did some great interviews on Thursdays on the show back in the day, but I think like he really was coming into his own on TMBS. I contend that he was still like his best work was definitely ahead of him.